Hello everyone, in today's video I'll be going over how I set up my own paint palette using gouache paint, so let's jump right into it. So this set came with 40 half pans and a set of magnets, and so the basic idea is that you peel off these magnets and you put them like on the bottom of each half pan and stick it on there and basically create this little palette, and the magnets will then stick onto this tin metal plating on the palette. So initially when I was doing this, I thought like each magnet had like a sticker and you just like tap it onto the palette, but it wasn't sticking. So then I noticed that this set actually came with a set of glue dots. Like they're like these little jelly dots or whatever that's like super sticky, and you basically just put it underneath the palette. So yeah, I tried my best to place those glue dots in the center, but I will say it was pretty tricky to align it properly. But I think I eventually got the hang of it as I did more of these. And also they provided like additional like 5 pans that don't even fit in the palette. I guess like they're just extra ones in case some of them were to get lost. I also did like a test. I flipped it over to see if any of the pans fell out and how well these magnets hold on to the palette. Obviously these didn't have any paints at that time when I did that, so with paint in it, it would be a lot heavier and maybe the magnet wouldn't hold as well. And obviously that's not something I would test when there's paint in there, because I don't want paint to be going all over my desk. But once I did that, I took out my gouache paint and I basically sectioned each of the colors. So I took out all the red tones first and just put them all in one line in the palette so that everything was nice and organized, the way I like things. And once I put a little bit of paint in the pan, I took my paintbrush, which was like a wider paintbrush, and I smoothed out the paints so that there wasn't any bumps or grooves in the paint, and also so that it was like compacted down into the pan and there wasn't any air bubbles, because my main concern was that once these paints dry, it will like start cracking and then bits and pieces of the paint will like break off and fall off, which I didn't want. I don't want to waste paint, obviously. I also tried to ensure that I push the paint towards the edge of the pan, again for the same reason. I tried my best doing this. It was actually it was pretty tricky. I mean, these paint palettes are very, very tiny, so you don't have that much room to work with. I also ensured that with every color switch, I cleaned my brush so that I didn't, contaminate any of the shades or like mix the shades. I kept the colors as it was from the tube. I didn't do anything crazy with it. The reason behind that was a lot of these colors are pretty similar to like the acrylic markers that I have. So I like how each of these colors are within like the same color range. I feel like when I'm creating illustrations, it will be really nice to create shades with these colors more easily, with everything being around the same color scheme. So yeah, these colors are not colors I usually will pick. I prefer pastel colors a lot more, but this is a great color scheme to start with for the initial part of my painting journey. And then as I was like filling in all of these colors here, there was about 10 or so palettes or pans left. So I decided to just mix and create new colors that I prefer, like the pastels I was talking about like 20 seconds ago. So I like picked I'm trying to think. I picked like pinks and purples, lavenders, light blues, colors like that, and then also some neutral colors, because That's used a lot in the illustrations that I do on a daily basis. So yeah, I think overall the entire process of just like sitting down and creating this palette was very relaxing. So I really enjoyed it. It was like something different than drawing, and it just took my mind off of things. So yeah, I really recommend you guys to try this out, create your own palette. It also will help with the painting part. Like instead of taking out all these paint tubes whenever I'm creating an illustration, all of these paints will just be right there. So hopefully I'll feel more incentivized to utilize my paints more, and then hopefully my painting skills will also improve as a result. That's the goal, fingers crossed. Anyways, this is the final paint palette, and you can see on the left side as the paint was drying, it started cracking a little bit. But yeah, I hope you all enjoy this video. Thank you all so much for watching.